Hello guys. What's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl barrister NEZE, and this is NEZE Peperempe, your original brown sugar, according to you, Katia said. I hope you guys are following me on NEZEville. Let me stop assuming that everybody here knows NEZEville. I beg you. Let me sell my marketing. If you do not know, we have another channel called NEZEville, where we talk about trending stuff, law, and all those kind of, addressing societal issues. So if you're interested in that kind of content, I beg, follow us on NEZEville. So welcome back here. In today's video, I'm going to be giving an analysis: Calgary versus Edmonton. Okay, let me stop calling this Edmonton now. Calgary versus Edmonton. So if you do not know, when we landed Canada, we landed into Calgary. Calgary was our first settlement place and we loved it there. We had no intentions of leaving. But somehow, fate, life, and work brought us to Edmonton, and we're loving it here too. We've settled in here. We've bought our own house here. This might not have been the original plan, but this ended up to be God's plan, and we are grateful for it. But in today's video, I want to do some comparisons and analysis between Edmonton and Calgary, and telling you guys which one I prefer, which one is a better city to live in. I'm not going to be moving back to Calgary anytime soon. I'm going to answer all of that in today's video. So without further ado, let us start this compare and contrasting. First, the weather. It goes without saying, everybody already knows that Canada is a very cold place. But some cold senior the others. Some places are a lot colder than the other, and Edmonton / Calgary is one of those perfect examples, with the winner in cold being Edmonton. Edmonton has much colder winters and even maybe longer. This year that I witnessed my first summer in Edmonton, I was just telling myself the other day that I didn't enjoy my summer. Where did summer go to? It rained half of summer, and the other half, I didn't get that warm, sunny vibe that I got in Calgary. I started accusing Edmonton. I was like, is it Edmonton or is this a Canada thing? What happened? It was when I watched some other people that I found out that generally in Canada, this summer didn't summer as much as last year. So there was plenty of rain. There was cold this summer. I was almost thinking that it was Edmonton, but it wasn't Edmonton's fault. Let me know what your experience has been with summer in Canada this year or wherever you are. So the average winter temperature in Calgary is around -7 to -15. It may be colder, talking about the average. But in Edmonton, you can comfortably have an average winter temperature from around -11 to -20, and with wind chills it can easily get to -30s and stay there for weeks. I remember last winter in Edmonton, my first winter in Edmonton, where I had to be going out every day to pick the kids. It was a crazy experience because in Calgary they didn't have that policy. All of them could come back home, but in Edmonton they were like, okay, children from grade 1 cannot come home by themselves except they have a sibling in grade 6 and above. So I didn't meet the benchmark on either way. I did everything I could for them to be letting the children come back. They refused. So I had to be going out every day. Apart from the inconvenience of whenever I'm working, I'm always working. I work every day. Whenever I'm working, I have to pause. My makeup is smeared. I have to go out, wait under the cold. By the time I come back, the mood has just been interrupted. So it was a serious challenge for me. But that was not the only challenge. The challenge of standing in that cold. Oh my God, Edmonton is cold. The cold I felt in Edmonton, I didn't feel it in Calgary, even when I had to walk on foot. It was really cold. Sometimes I used to feel like my nose was going to break off. Despite I used to layer up, I used to go there dressed like a masquerade. But even at that, the little parts of my body that were open, you could feel the cold piercing. It's stinking. It has this stinging like a bee, stinging cold. So yeah, Edmonton is a lot colder than Calgary. Do with this information whatever you please. And that brings us to the second point, the Chinook. The Chinook that Calgary has that Edmonton does not have. What is Chinook? Let me read it to us. So a Chinook wind is a mountain wind effect. The air rises on the western slopes of the Rockies. Remember that Calgary is in the rocky areas, and it cools and loses moisture. Then it descends on the eastern side, and as it descends, it warms up and dries out. So it's like a hot chill, a hot wind that comes from the mountains into Calgary and warms up the place. Such a beautiful relief from nature. Unfortunately, we do not have this Chinook in Edmonton. So whenever it's cold in Calgary, the Chinook can just come and raise the temperature up to 10 to 20 degrees in difference, offering instant relief from the brutal cold in just a few hours. So in the morning, for example, by 8 a.m., you could be on -25. By 12 p.m. in Calgary, you could just find yourself on -5. And you'll be wondering, wow, where did the cold go to? That is the Chinook effect. So this Chinook does not only warm up the place, it also melts snow. So you hardly see those very big heaps of snow in front of your doorstep. When it comes, it melts snow. By the next morning, you've seen that the snow has, come down. But in Edmonton, that snow will form a hedge and remain there. That even after winter, before the snow finish melting, if summer is over, winter is back again. And let us not forget that Calgary has plenty of sun. Calgary is one of the sunniest cities in the whole of Canada. And you know that we Africans, we need sun. Our skin needs sun, our body needs sun, our mental health needs sun, our mind, for us to function well, we need sun because, it's just part of us. Apart from being born in tropical areas, the black skin also needs sun to function well. And this lack of sun is responsible for a lot of depression in black people abroad and in Canada. So there is the psychological effect. So if you're trying to consider between the two cities and temperature, weather is important to you, then you already know which of these two cities is better, is warmer. Let us go to housing. Very important too. Now, it looks as though Calgary has been flogging Edmonton. Here comes one score point for Edmonton. When it comes to housing, both purchase and rent and even utilities as a matter of implication, Edmonton is a lot cheaper, a lot more affordable than Calgary. Before we made the sudden move to Edmonton, we were already in the process of checking out houses to buy in Calgary. And our house preference, I don't know what the cost of other houses are. We didn't ask because we didn't want to buy it, so we didn't have interest in it. So I'll just make reference to the kind of houses that we wanted to buy and the kind of house that we bought. So in Calgary, houses like this, 4-bed with front attached double garage, basement, and all that, maybe 3 bathroom or 4 bathrooms, you could be looking at, depending on the area, you could be looking at 750 to 1.2 million. Around that Livingston, Evanston, Carrington area in Calgary, some of the houses we saw there were well above 1 million that the agents showed us. 1.2 million, 1.1 million in Calgary. But such houses in Edmonton, you can very well find between 650,000 to 800,000. So you can see that the difference in margin is quite wide. And if the cost of purchasing a house is higher, of course, the cost of renting too will be higher in Calgary. The places that we stayed in Calgary, we never paid below 2,500 as rent for 3 beds. But in Edmonton, you can very well get a 3-bedroom for 2,200, sometimes 2,150. Although the price for renting has dropped now compared to 2 years ago when we were renting in Calgary, but regardless of the drop will be on both sides. So it will still be cheaper to rent in Edmonton. And also utilities may also be cheaper. So houses that have utilities included, you will still get it cheaper than if you are renting in Calgary. So $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 is no small jokes. That is more than enough to guide anybody to make a decision about one place over the other. When it comes to general difference in lifestyle, cost of living, I do not see much difference when it comes to groceries and other things. But housing, the difference is clear. Let's go to the next point for me. And this one is a preference that I have for Edmonton over Calgary. And that is the surplus of daycares in Edmonton. Oh my God. Before we even moved to Canada, our contact person, my friend in Calgary, had already told me that I should start booking for a daycare in Calgary from Nigeria. That I should use her address, her phone number, and secure a daycare in Calgary. That is that bad. That some people that want their children to join daycares at 2 years, when the child is born, at 0 months, they put the child on the wait list, because you can be on the wait list for 2 good years without getting a spot. And she did not lie. Would you believe that I had to part with money 3 times, 3 daycares, to put myself on a wait list, and none of them called me or got back to me until I moved out of Calgary. At the end of the day, I had to take Naya to a day home first, until we moved to a place where, as God would have it, as we were moving there, the daycare was just opening. So we immediately ran there. We're the first people there, you get? And that's how she moved from day home to daycare. So getting a daycare in Calgary is that difficult. There are not even much of them. Like when you drive around, you can count them. But in Edmonton, there are surplus. Every community you pass through, every of those entrance places, you will see. To the fact that we can even choose. The daycare Chineyewa is attending now is not the daycare she started with. So we put her in one that was maybe 7 minutes away from the house, but I didn't quite like the place. So we pulled her out and put her at another place. They called us at that second place, which is closer to the house, that they have space. Who born you in Calgary? And that was just within 2 weeks old. Who born you in Calgary to go to a daycare, and within 2 weeks, they'll call you that there's space? It's very difficult. After all the waitlist money I paid, this one $100 waitlist, this one $50, non-refundable. We didn't get any call back. We would call, what number is she on the waitlist? They'll say she has moved from 18 to 15. Do you know what it would take for 15 children to leave a daycare for your child to have space? So it was very difficult, and that I love about Edmonton. So many daycares. Bye. Next, let us talk about aesthetics. Which is the more beautiful, the neater, the more modern city? Can you begin to guess down in the comment section? Which one? Calgary or Edmonton? It is certainly Calgary. Calgary is beautiful. It's a beautiful place. I didn't even recognize or realize how beautiful it was until I moved to Edmonton and I had to visit Calgary. Then when we went with my mother to see Calgary, I was like, wow, the difference is clear. The scenery, oh my God. Calgary is right at the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. So the scenery, seeing the mountains, it's a view. It's such a view. The backdrop, it is something. But Edmonton, on the other hand, is flat. Edmonton is flat. Although Edmonton has its own beauty in lush gardens, it's very tropical. During summer, there are lots of greens, plenty of greens, but you might not be able to compare it with the scenic view of Calgary. I'm not even talking about the scenic view alone. The architecture, Calgary's architecture and mapping system, city mapping, is a lot more modern, a lot more beautiful. Well, not to blame Edmonton so much. Edmonton is a much older city. Although it is the capital of Alberta, but Calgary is a newer city. So, of course, newer architecture, newer buildings. It's more modern, it's more visually appealing. Unlike Edmonton, that it's old, the landscape and the design is not all that. Please, oh, I'm not saying that Edmonton is ugly, but my Edmontonians, hope I'm not casting us. No, now Edmonton is still cool. What I'm saying is, in comparison to Calgary, the fact is that nowhere in Canada that I know of who is like ugly. No main city is ugly. They're all fine. They all have basic amenities all around you. They're very similar. But I'm just talking about view. Calgary is a lot more beautiful. It is neater. It is more modern than Edmonton. So on that one, give it a score by yourself. Next point that I would like to highlight is the road network and the road quality. And the difference is crystal clear once again. So Edmonton has more older, cracked, patched up roads. Calgary, on the other hand, has smoother, finer, better roads. Then for fun activities, yes, fun activities may depend on your lifestyle, the people you know, where you go to, but I will still say Calgary was it for me. I believe that there were more fun places for me to go to in Calgary than Edmonton, and maybe because I knew more people in Calgary. Calgary was my first point of landing, so I know more people in Calgary than I know in Edmonton, and there were more Nigerian restaurants in Calgary for me. There were so many more places to go to, the Amala Festival, the Igbo Festival. There were so many things to do in Calgary compared to Edmonton. And let us not forget the fact that the almighty Calgary Stampede, the almighty stampede that brings people from all over the world, is in Calgary. So when it comes to fun, I think I'll give it to Calgary over Edmonton. Even all of those Nigerian celebrities, all of those shows, music gigs, most of those appearances, you would find that those celebrities, those people, those comedians will sooner go to Calgary than Edmonton. So score the point yourself. And lastly, job opportunities. Edmonton is the capital city, and it is widely believed that there are a lot more opportunities for public sector jobs, government jobs in Edmonton than in Calgary. While Calgary, on the other hand, is the corporate headquarters for a lot of companies, a lot of oil and gas companies. So despite there is a serious job shortage pandemic in Canada generally now, but people believe that, oh, if you have interest in this one, your chances are higher here. And if you have interest in this one, your chances are higher over there. So that's the general assumption out there. But generally speaking, I know that it's very difficult now to get a job than it has ever been. So these are my comparisons between Calgary and Edmonton for now. I stayed in Calgary for a year plus, and I've stayed in Edmonton now for about a year. So these are my impressions. Which one did I miss? And which one do you think that I prefer? Which city do you think I prefer? I'm not going to ask. You guys should tell me down in the comment section. Isn't that obvious? On the question of whether I would ever go back to Calgary, my motto in life is never say never. I still fantasize over Calgary sometimes. I still miss my friends in Calgary. I still miss the life I had in Calgary. I still love Calgary. Calgary was my first love. So yes, Calgary is still in my heart. But whether I would ever leave Edmonton and go back to Calgary, never say never. It may happen, it may not. But if it does, I think I'll be happy to. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you are seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section. What city do you stay in Canada? And what are the perks for you and disadvantages for you? Let us share all down in the comment section. It's me, your girl barrister NEZE, and this is NEZE Peperempe. I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye. Bye.